Okay, let's just get straight to the numbers. Because if you follow the London property market at all, this is going to sound, well, just plain wrong.
It's pretty jarring.
We're looking at the new Coutts Prime Property Index, and it says prices in prime central London have effectively time-traveled. We're talking 10.3% below their 2014 peak.
It creates this fascinating chart. If you're buying a property in, say, Mayfair or Kensington right now, you are basically paying 2013 prices.
Which is just wild for a major global asset class to essentially go nowhere or even backwards for 12 years is incredibly rare.
Yeah, you'd think inflation alone would have taken care of that. But 2025 was a year of almost total paralysis. The report calls it wait-and-see behavior.
But it was more than just hesitation, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was specific anxiety, leading up to the autumn budget. The prime market is so sensitive to tax policy.
Oh, of course.
Buyers were just terrified that the budget would hammer non-dom status or hike capital gains. And when you're talking about these kinds of investments, that uncertainty just freezes everything.
Right, nobody's going to sign on a Tuesday if the tax laws might completely change on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
But that freeze, it really left a mark. I was looking at the negotiation stats.
The leverage for buyers was historic.
Get this. The average discount negotiated was 10.3% off the asking price.
And frankly, the asking price became almost a suggestion. A staggering 82% of homes sold for less than that.
So more than 40% of listings had to have their prices publicly cut just to get any interest.
Exactly.
But we have to be careful here because London isn't just one market. When we say prime central London, we're really talking about places like Knightsbridge, Belgravia.
That is a crucial distinction. These are international investment hubs. They act more like, they're less like housing and more like gold bars or fine art.
And those are the areas that are really down.
Massively. Knightsbridge and Belgravia are trading almost 30% below their peak. Chelsea is down about 20%.
But then you look at outer prime areas like King's Cross or Islington, and prices actually grew last year.
Because that's the domestic market. That's where people actually live and send their kids to school.
So if you're looking for a family home in Islington, don't expect a bargain. But if you want a trophy asset in Belgravia, it's a buyer's bonanza.
For now. And this is really the twist in the whole report.
Right.
Logic would suggest that if prices are this low, you can take your time, shop around. But the data is screaming the exact opposite.
Because sellers aren't naive. If you see your neighbor having to slash their price by 20%, you're not going to list your own house. You're just going to wait.
And that's exactly what's happening. That refusal to sell at a loss is drying up all the supply.
Yeah.
New listings absolutely plummeted, down 35% in the last quarter of 2025.
Wow.
And the total stock available on the market, down 15%.
So we have a collision course coming. You have buyers who feel confident again after the budget.
Yep. The fiscal clarity is back.
So they're returning to the market, but they're walking into a store where the shelves are half empty.
Catherine O'Shea at Coutts, she flagged this specifically. She expects 2026 to be much more active. But if that new demand runs into 15% less stock, then that buyer power we were just talking about just evaporates almost overnight. The leverage swings right back to the seller.
It frames late 2025 and early 2026 as this very specific, very narrow window of opportunity.
You have the price hangover from all the uncertainty, but it's overlapping with a supply squeeze that hasn't actually hit the price tags yet.
It's a classic market dislocation. Normally low supply props prices up. The fact that prices are down while supply is cratering, it tells you we are right at a pivot point.
So the takeaway seems pretty clear. If you're looking at prime central London, you're seeing 2013 prices from sellers who've been worn down. But the inventory is it's vanishing. This looks less like a crash and more like a slingshot being pulled back.
Which leaves us with that final provocative thought. If prices are this low, but the stock is disappearing, are we just looking at a market correction? Or is this the quiet moment right before the next massive price surge? A lot to think about there for anyone watching the market. Thanks for unpacking all this.
Always a pleasure.